Here at Fuji-san Industries, we've noticed your autofocus complaints and we have remedied them. Right now, we are on the basic old firmware that got upgraded 7 times into ineptitude by Fuji-san executives. We're gonna update the firmware, we're gonna compare F-Log2C.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Fuji XH2s with the 35mm 1.4. Oh, we'll get to you hobos who think this is the wrong lens choice. Oh, you have to use the modern lens. We'll get to you. I am about to update against my will. But before I leave, this may seem like a stupid test to you. Like coming in and out of frame. When would you ever do that? I've never seen a movie that does that. It's not for having a movie. It's for me being a YouTuber, pressing record, okay, going out in nature, walking, is it gonna pick me up? Some cameras don't. They just forget your ass. They never latch onto you. Canon, I'm looking at you. When you have a subject detect only on. So like, that's an important test for us. One-man crew over here. Some people are like, we were fine manually focusing in 1929. Not on yourself, dick. Welcome to the new firmware. So we're on it. No settings have changed. I left it off where we were, F-Log2 in 4K, super sharpened cat footage. We'll switch to F-Log2C soon and see, no pun intended. Will it be as sharpened? What's different about it? I saw a little box freak out. Are we good? That took a while. Decent. Is this acceptable? That wasn't. Is this movie footage? Okay. All right, let's switch to this F-Log2C. It's really exciting. Imagine a company comes out, oh, we have a new color profile like that. This is exciting news. So is it better? Boom. F-Log2C. So they've reworked it. I'm the worst person on earth to be testing this because I don't understand the lingo behind it all. Like, oh, the chroma subsampling in the shadows has been lifted. Like, go to hell. Like, who cares about any of that? Like, when I slap on the official Fuji LUT, what do you do to my face? That's all I care about. No, the highlight retention is the roll-off degrees of the angles. It's like one of these S-curve your mom later tonight. You know what I mean? Is it better? Is it that same over-sharpened bullshit or what? And then we'll get into this white balance conspiracy that I'm not happy to find out about. Is the autofocus worse in C mode? So side by side with F-Log2 last year's news. Is this the new kid on the block? Better looking? Would your cat run away from me if I even had fish in my pocket? I do sometimes. Right now, actually. Or versus F-Log1. Is that better? That was underexposed. No, I did not adjust the ISO. It dropped down to 640. I did not change the lighting. I just left it like an unprofessional loser. We're learning nothing right now. I'm sorry. I'm not good at this. Okay, in order to learn about the white balance conspiracy that I have discovered, we must switch to Rela Ace. Okay, are you seeing it? We're in Rela Ace. No more F-Log anything. I may be showing my absolute moronhood here, but I am not very skilled at white balancing. I don't know what to do. Every camera has a custom white balance mode, which I think should be you hold a wrinkled piece of white paper in a Marcus Pix-like fashion where you would be standing. This is where my face is in this lighting. And then you custom white balance in camera. That selects a white balance. That's what I've done. When I then go into DaVinci and hold up this same thing, same scenario, and click the white balance to select this as white, it's very different. And I don't know who's right. One of you's wrong. And when I do this on Sony and then click on it in DaVinci, it'll change like minus 0.2. Like, it's such a minor thing that it's like, that was basically right. We agree, Sony. Now, agreeing with Sony color science, that's your first mistake, DaVinci. So like, we shouldn't even be trusting this whole thing. But when I do it on Fuji, here's the numbers of what it did today. It's usually like 150 off. And this isn't raw. What was that? An autofocus jump? I saw a big box somewhere. Is there a lion or something? What happened? Usually, it's so off, and if you're not in RAW, making white balance shifts in camera after, it's not the same as RAW. RAW, you just flip it, and it's done. It's perfect. But when you try to change a blue white balance to warm, bad things happen. So in my opinion, this is why I've been getting super radioactive skin tones on a Fuji camera, because the white balance is so off that it's just like it can't be corrected ever. So it's like Real Ace was the worst. Is it terrible? Let's switch to a different one. Okay, now we're in Astia. We should be seeing, hopefully this white piece of paper has fixed us, because I've been doing this with my gray card, and maybe that has been the problem this whole time, because the boxes aren't big enough. She never told me that. That's a guess on her part. She's probably wrong. Plenty big, these boxes. So I've been using my little big spider checker thing with the colors on the back, which I never even look at that side. Don't even confuse me. So let's now change it. I'll custom white balance to the gray and see if that was the problem. So now I've custom white balanced with the gray part, and now I will click the white thing as a side rant. Did that change a lot? You can see the numbers, what it changed. Wow, what a difference. What if I click the gray part? Better? Different? We're learning too much for our own good. And is the autofocus any different? Let's switch into another profile, and then we talk about this lens and why it's the best choice for autofocus tests. And you're all morons, aren't you? Just agree first. All right, we're in nostalgic neg now. It's just pure orange mode. That's what this does. Turns my shirt orange, but at least it removes the radioactive diseases coming out of my pores. I did not save a village that had a nuclear reactor broken and then it was leaking, and I was the one that came and then came back and made a video with the red face bullshit, Fuji face. That did not happen. So thank you, Nostalgic Neg, for pleasing me. Side rant now begins on the lenses every day. For years, I like these 3D Pop vintage style lenses. The 16mm 1.4, legendary lens. 35mm 1.4, we're on it. 56mm 1.2, couldn't even beat it. Wouldn't even want to try. Those are the best Fuji lenses. That's why you get into this system. I have two rants. One is for don't use those lenses for autofocus, and the second I already forgot. So we'll just tackle the first for now. All right, you with me? These are the most reliable because you know nothing. On paper, you read an advertisement saying, my God, these old lenses, they're not smooth. The new ones have linear motors. You wouldn't believe the smoothness. Go watch any moron video with those lenses, and it's hunting more. It hunts more. It's a smoother hunt. Didn't ask for that. It just smoothly hunts more. Great. Those are wonderful. And you lose all the pop. How dumb were your parents for giving birth to such morons? It hurts. So these lenses, if they didn't exist, I would not be in food. You think I'm going for the 33mm 1.4 flat? Get a Sigma at that point. You're a crab waiting to walk. Not on my time, crab boy. It's hard to fathom the ineptitude that reaches across the screen at me sometimes watching these YouTube hobos with your 18mm 1.4. You got that lens over the 16 Legend lens. How dumb are you? Sit in your own defeat for a second here to really feel what I'm trying to get at you. You could not have made a worse decision in your life to go for these newer modern things. Not only is the look bad, the autofocus is worse. And that's how dumb you are for telling me this would have worked so much better if you had the 33mm. It would have been worse. and flat. It better not have hunted once during that whole rant, making me look like a moron, Fuji. I'm the one dishing out the hate in class. And I finally remembered the second part of that rant. So let's switch to 6.2K, F-Log2, over sharpened mesh. This is where it was the most radioactive setting possible. Let's see it. It's gross, isn't it? It's not something that flatters the face. Don't really see the point. In fact, open gate, you know my Canon C70, that does open gate too. But it's an actual video-sized sensor that is full wideness. That's nice. So like when I do open gate on that, it's just raw DCI 4K with wide mode and little cinematic bars come on automatically for you. Whereas this, it's rectangle shit. It's like, oh, subscribe to my TikTok. I dance sometimes. Look at this. Subscribe. Okay, final rant. I get this way too often. Fujifilm shooters in the comments when I'm testing stuff like this and saying, you know what, your autofocus bit jerky. It's not the greatest, not the most reliable out there. IBIS, not my favorite. Their answer? Fuji is a photography camera system, by the way. Why are you doing video with a photography system? Even though I have ProRes, 8-bit, open gates, super slow-mo, all the video settings you would ever dream of, except waveforms. Don't see those in there. But like, we're talking F-Log2, they just came out with F-Log2C. We're in F-Log2 just because I don't know if the C version is over sharpened and I wanted to be fugly as hell. Other than the X100V series and the 6, though, okay, the X Pro 2, yeah, that's a photography thing. Every single mirrorless camera does both, pretty much. Unless Sony has segmented pretty well with the A7R5, don't use that for video. It's not as good. It's still better than most things, but it doesn't have the same frame rates. It's sharper in APS-C mode. Like, it's just weird because of so many megapixels. But most cameras do both. Even though they are photo first, against my will, they're thinking of video specs, and they're all capable and advertised for that. So if your camera sucks at video, don't tell me, oh, it's a photo only. What are you doing? I'm just reading the brochure. So to end this rant, I just switched to 4K in Eterna. Something I used to use, thought this was the best profile, but it's clearly not. Astia is way better for the face, in my opinion. Eterna's mid-tier. All cameras can do both. Video is taking off. It's more interesting to watch. I like a good photo. Not taking them, that makes me get hives on my shoulder and elbow. Video's here to stay. It's fun. So catch up. I don't mind if you go all in on video, but hardly anyone's doing that. It's a hybrid market for some reason. I don't get it. Low megapixel, that's the future. Medium format, 2 megapixel camera. I want to see it. 1080p only. Imagine it. But I like Fuji. I'm growing on it. What? No, that's not English. It's a good system. I like the colors sometimes. If I can figure out this white balance thing, because outside it often looks good, and I just set it to 5500, then we're good. I don't even bring the gray card, but in here, I try so hard, and it never works. So like, I don't know what the hell, that's my problem, not yours, Fuji. But like, it's fun to use, very easy to go through the menus. I actually like the menus of Fuji. So it's like, I'm happy to be in this cult. I'm going to get some leather pants soon. So thank you for the firmware. Was it pretty reliable today? Better than usual? We shall see. And I will leave now after Bitcoin comes to me from you. The locksmith has me in his basement right now. He made this whole set out of locks.